Hello, I'm Jim Kimmel, and tonight we're going to be talking about keeping the proper perspective on show choir competitions. First of all, let's reflect a little bit on the brief history of this art form that we use that we call show choir. Many of us have forgotten that some of the earliest show choirs were at colleges and universities. Uh, Places like Nebraska's Big Red, the Singing Hoosiers from Ball State, the Wisconsin Singers from Wisconsin, the Amazing Blue from Michigan, University of Michigan, and the Iowa Central Singers. There were several of these groups working in the early years of show choir. They were mostly influenced by the Fred Waring Singers. And of course, early on in the high school and junior high lives of show choirs, we were called swing choirs. Even the music published had swing choir all over it. So that's a little bit about our history. And the first high school competition, probably we give credit to Bishop Luers as that school that had some of the first high school competitions. One of the major changes in show choirs that I have really loved seeing in the past few years is the growth of even the numbers in a show choir in performance. Early on, we were 20 singers, maybe 16 of our select singers, and through the years, it's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, so that now show choirs can have 60 on the stage. I love that because that tells me that the value of show choir is important to everybody, to more students in the school. So to give more opportunities to them, we now make them larger. Show choirs are popular for a lot of reasons. They build character, their professionalism, they help with inclusion, responsibility, maturity, and pride with a capital P, Pride. Personally, I was teaching high school in 1974 at John F. Kennedy High School, where I directed Happiness Incorporated. I was looking to build pride with that group, and so one of the things that I did after we had had some success, I ordered everybody a yellow jacket with a green stitching of their name and Happiness Incorporated on the back. Then we had a little ceremony to present these jackets, and the ceremony was simply, here's your jacket. When you wear it, you carry something about happiness with you. You are a different kind of professional performer when you have this jacket. And don't let your girlfriends wear it, your boyfriends wear it. It's only for you. It says something about you. I am very proud that even today in 2022, some almost 50 years later, that tradition still exists at John F. Kennedy High School. Today's competitions are really energetic and alive and happy and joyful and full of laughter, full of applause, and there is so much to learn from this environment, the excitement of the environment, that you want to let your students experience that kind of excitement. Because in the music world, it's kind of hard to get there with that kind of excitement. So let's start at the beginning. You've decided to take your students to a competition, but you've never been, they've never been. As a director, you have a responsibility to choose the correct competition. You want to find a competition that will help your students and not hurt them. You want your students to grow by doing this. And some considerations in choosing that competition, pretty simple. Number one, reputation of the event, the adjudication panel and the adjudication form and the adjudication panelists, the location of the event so that your parents and family can come and be in the audience to support your kids. The performance venue, is it friendly to the type of sound you do, or is it going to be amplified? Are there going to be risers? What kind of space is there that you have to fill? So why should you really go to a competition? What are the inner reasons for wanting to do it? The teacher in you, the director in you. The benefits to the students. Number one, they're learning an art and the value of being a team member. They are learning to strive for excellence. They are learning to be aspiring young performers. And they are understanding the joy of understanding excellence. Perhaps the most obvious reason, though, for you as the director is that you want your students to experience this and learn some things. And let me give you a couple quotes that I've used to encourage my students all the way along. Like, we are attending for constructive coaching. The reward is in the effort and not in the achievement. The highest reward we get for our toil is not what we get for it, but what we become by it. If you want something you've never had, you've got to do something you've never done. So if your kids into your school want a show choir, it's going to require some different kinds of things. Here are some suggestions to the director, generally simple. Find the competitions which align with your educational goals, and share these educational goals with the students before you go. I'm sure you've all written a lot of goals. They should start with something like to expose students to, etc., etc., to develop, to experience, to encourage, to teach, to provide, ... Very easy to go down this list and just add an adjective on the end, or a descriptor of that. Share your objectives with the students. What are the objectives? Well, you've got these goals. The objectives are the outcomes that you are going to get by achieving these goals. Real easy to write objectives. Ensemble members will ... will demonstrate ... will master ... will gain ... The list can go on and on. It's real easy. Share those so the kids can say, oh, the goals here are going to get me there. And do that intentionally before you get to a contest. You know, you might have to give up a few minutes of your rehearsal of your song or something. It's okay. It's going to pay off. And lastly, for the teachers, I have 3 points that I'd kind of like to leave with you. There are 3 really important things to consider when you are in competitions. 3 stages. Pre-preparation, stage 1. Stage 2, performance, the performance. Point number 3, past performance, or post-performance benefits. So the first one, let's talk about the performance. You, as a director, need to know all of the details and the sound check and how to be professional and during those things when you're on stage in front of the audience. The proper personal warm-ups that they need to do vocally and for stretching and dancing and loosening up. The hair, the costume preparation, and the pride and preparation that they will bring to the stage. And lastly, to engage the audience with their eyes and with proper posture, full body posture. The second thing is the performance, post-performance. The personal reflection, the group reflection, identifying the strengths and the performances of the event, and things that you can talk with one another about. And during all of this, you need to keep coaching and teaching through each one of these 3 stages. Constant coaching and teaching. Most importantly during this process is to be honest with your students. They probably know what they did well and what they didn't do well. But you need to be honest with them and help them understand this. And so being honest and positive are the 2 best tools to bring your group along. Lastly, just helping the students and giving comfort to you. Sayings. Failure is never fatal, and success is never final. And where there is much activity, there you will find excellence. I've learned that a long time ago. In closing, I would just like to say I love the show choir concept. I've been doing it all my life and living it just about every day of my life. I love the concept of show choir because it allows the most inexperienced and the youngest performer to enjoy the success of the whole group, of those experienced performers. Success which the little student, the new student, may never have achieved on his own or individually. And to kind of close with that, I often say to the students, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with others. Ladies and gentlemen, the students, I wish you well this year in your competition world. Enjoy, love, and learn. This is Jim Kimmel signing out.